your story. How did you start your journey with interior design?
Well, it's a very long journey. I look young, but I'm not.
You do.
Okay. I always mention this. My journey started since I was a little. I had this idea in my mind that my mom told me, you will be the best interior designer.
Wow. How old were you?
When I started talking, I was that young. So for me, all my childhood, I thought when I'm going to grow up, I will be an interior designer, So it was like a fact. When I reached the age where actually I'm going to start university and this stuff, I faced the reality. I faced the reality that I'm just another number. I'm someone like everyone who's studying interior design. I'm not that special like my mom told me. I'm just normal, So this is where I refused the idea to be average, refused the idea to be same as everyone else. And this is where I started thinking what I can do different than everyone else in my colleagues, my friends are doing. I want to do something different to be able to shine, to be able to do something and to be better. I think this is where my thinking started to think outside the box.
That's when you stopped following rules, I believe. You said, I am not going to follow trends. I'll do something different.
Yeah, right? And that's why I don't like to repeat my project. I don't like to have the similar project. I like each project to be different. So this is where it started. And back then, it was the beginning of digital. Same like now, how it's the beginning of AI. Back then, it was the beginning of Photoshop, the beginning of AutoCAD. Before, we used to do everything by hand. And when you go to university, if you do anything not by hand, they will tell you, you're cheating. No, you cannot do this. You have to draw with your hand. Otherwise, you will not get your full grade. And I faced this a lot. I worked in Lebanon. And then immediately, I started to become better and better in what I was doing. I used to work on AutoCAD, Photoshop, 3D, all the new softwares. It was new for everyone. Immediately, I adopted that. And I introduced it to the studio where I was working in Lebanon. So I introduced AutoCAD, I introduced Photoshop. So it was like a kind of revolutionary idea, to do all that back then. It was something new. And then when I came to Dubai, I started working in an office. And then one day I had a fight with my manager. I think that fight is what made me today who I am. Why? Because I'm someone who was very dedicated and putting all my heart in my work. So I used to stay till 10 p.m. working. I believed as if that company was my own company. So I was working super hard. But then I realized that, no, it's not my company. Like in the first clash, I realized, okay, they can tell me bye-bye anytime. So it was like a realization that, no, this is not, okay, you think it's your baby, but it's not your baby. So this is where I decided I want to do work on my own. But Dubai, now we feel Dubai is big, but also back then I felt Dubai is so big. There's so many interior designers. There's so many, which compared to now, it wasn't. But back then it felt how I'm going to shine. I'm just, I'm young. I'm 26 years old. How I will be able to compete with well-established companies who did Burj Al Arab, who did all this huge mentions, I felt like no one will trust me. So I said, okay, let's start with an idea, something small. And I found that there is, in the market, there is a niche, there is a lack of something. And the lack was, there is no beautiful kids' bedrooms. So back then, you had only either IKEA or mother care if you have a kid and you want to design the bedroom. And I experienced this with my daughter, because when I wanted to furnish her bedroom, I couldn't find anything. So I had to customize every single piece in the room. Then this is where the idea started, to create a furniture store designed by me, where people who lives in UAE and mainly locals, because in my previous job, I was working with local homes and I discovered that local homes are huge and the bedrooms are so huge and tiny piece of furniture will not fit there. So I took that concept and I created a collection of furniture, and it was a system and the concept beautifully designed, beautifully done, that every single person, when they come to choose, they feel they are customizing that
They
room.
felt it was for them.
Exactly. So same now we're saying luxury is customization, luxury is personalization. This is how they felt when they used to come for their kids' bedroom. Because even though to me, the system was there, the designs were very similar, but we just changed certain elements on it. But for the client, for the customer, it was like as if he's customizing every single piece. in
Because you
that room.
studied them so well. I think you worked with them, so you know what they like, what kind of house they have. They have big houses.
It worked. It actually worked. It was a success story. That store, it was named K Kids, and it was a really success story. I truly believed in it. I believed that I will be successful in that. I didn't have the money to open the store. I didn't have investor. I didn't have anyone. I just had the idea, the designs, and the concept. So I went to a friend of mine. I told him, I have this great idea. Can you help me to do a business plan? I didn't know even how to make a business plan. He told me, okay, tell me the idea. I told him the idea. He said, it will work. And then he said, I'm your investor. I'm your partner. This is how it happened. We shook hands and this is how it started. I insisted to have 60% of the company. And he told me, but Sawsan, you're not paying anything. I told him, I will pay you after 6 months. Imagine how much I believed that that idea will do well, because I signed with him like a loan that, okay, you're putting all the money, but this will be, my part will be a loan and I'll give it back to you after. And this is brief story about if you believe in your dreams, if you believe in your idea, if you have dedication, discipline, and you put your target in front of you, you will reach. That's it. There is no way around it. You know, some people say yes, no. No, if you don't take no for an answer, I never took no for an answer.
The only answer is yes.
For example, when I wanted to open the store, that store, everyone told me, no, you cannot take here. You will not be able to open that store. I will not. In my mind, I wanted to open in that mall and I wanted that location. And I did every single thing possible. I knocked on every single door. I requested to ask so many people just because I believed in that idea. And I think this is the way that anyone can reach. But if from the first no, you will change your way and leave, you will not achieve. So you need to take no, and keep insisting.
Then the yes will come.
Exactly.
And I want to know how much money, how much loan you took to start your business. Because there are so many people, you know, in our viewers who probably are in the same situation. And they must be thinking that I have no money, but I have this excellent plan. And I need millions to start a business.
Now, I don't know how much you need to actually open like a store or something, especially now with all the malls. But for sure, there is a small malls where you can do that. Back then, the whole investment was 300,000 dirham. And my part was 180,000 dirham, the part that I had to put, because it was 60%. And I knew deep inside that I will be able to give this money back because I believed in the idea. After maybe 1 month of starting, I signed around 5 bedrooms for 2 families, and it was around maybe 250,000 dirham.
In 1 month, you signed that deal.
Imagine, like now, maybe when I look at it, I say maybe it's beginner's luck. But maybe also it's not beginner's luck. Maybe it's God who gave me this sign and gave me this push to encourage me to believe in myself and to do more, you know.
But the fact that you believed in it and you had absolute clarity on what needs to be done, you didn't doubt yourself.
I didn't have any doubts.
You were very clear on this is what I know I can do, and it's great and it will work. And you were consistent.
Yeah, I think this was the beginning. And but that experience, because when you win once, that win, it will give you the courage to do more and more. Because in my mind, I said, oh, if K Kids did well, and if I started K Kids from zero, I can do bigger. I can do
more.
better. I can do more. And this is where immediately, 2 years after, I started with Dipiugi. And at that time, I called it K Interiors. We started doing mansions and villas and big homes. So immediately, we became bigger and bigger. K Kids was still there, working by itself. At that time, I felt, wow, you're young and look how much you're achieving. And you're doing amazingly great. This, let's say, feeling of power and feeling of success and feeling of all this sometimes let you forget that anytime you will face a bump and that anytime you can fall.
Did that happen with you?
It happened, of course. In 2009, I had a huge fall. And I felt that my career is ending. All the money I saved all those years is gone. I felt everything is gone because I expanded and I expanded. And 2008, I said, okay, K Kids worked. Dipiugi is working. So now it's time to open a huge showroom for furniture and bring a franchise from Italy. For me, in my mind, sky was the limit. I can achieve anything. If I started from -0, -180,000, and it worked, then I can reach anywhere. So I got this franchise. I opened a big showroom. And beginning of 2009, an incident happened in the showroom. They were doing a test or something, and then the whole ceiling was full of water and it fell down and it broke everything. After 1 month of opening the place, when I saw it falling, I felt like all my dreams are like just vanishing because I took a loan. All the savings that I had, I took everything and I put it in that place because I believed in it so much, same as I believed in K Kids. I believed that place will be a hit and I'll do millions from it. This was in my mind. So when the incident happened, I felt that's it. I'm finished. I'm gone. I have a loan. I have all this. All my savings are gone. I'm just destroyed. Maybe for 1 day, I was depressed. I couldn't think. I didn't have clarity. But then I said, okay, wait. Pause. You are a good person. You are God's daughter. He loves you and you love him. And if this happened to you, means it's for your best. You don't know it yet. You don't know if it's your best or no. It's for your best. You just need to fight for your right, fight for everything, and just leave it for God. And this is what happened. I just started fighting with the consultant of the building, fighting with the landlord, fighting with everyone to give me compensation on what happened, fighting with the insurance company because they didn't want to pay. So I was fighting with the whole world, fighting even with the government. I was fighting with every single human for my right.
And you were doing this all alone?
All alone. My husband told me, forget about it. You're not getting anything. Just go sit at home. You will not achieve anywhere. I told him, no, it's my right. It's my sweat. It's my hard work. I'm going to keep fighting till the end. So what happened? Moral of the story, 2009, it was what? The crisis,
yes.
Right? All the showrooms in that building, after 2 years, they suffered so much. Most of them closed, bankrupt, and they went home. They couldn't continue. We opened all at the same time.
Because there was an economic crisis at that time.
Because it was the economic crisis. No one was selling. The rent was super high. The landlord didn't accept to reduce the rent. They all closed. They all closed after 2 years. Me, I closed after 1 month because I had the incident happening in my place. I had to suffer for 9 months, going to police, going to municipality, going from here and there nonstop. But at the end, I won. I won the case.
You got the money back.
and I got compensated.
Wow.
And I got part of my money after 1 year. And then the other part, because I went to court, the other part, I got it after 10 years. Imagine, I won the case after 10 years. So moral of the story, that enlightenment that I had when the incident happened, where I said, no, God is protecting you. Even if this happened to you, because at that point, it was the worst thing that can ever happen. But that belief turned that the most deadliest, ugliest event into a boost, into a fire, and into a trust in the future and in God. I was fighting, and left it to God, and this is what happened. So that trust is amazing, because it can turn anything bad into beautiful.
I think it's a very good example. You know how you say that when life gives you lemons, you make a lemonade out of it. That's exactly what you did. You just turned the situation completely
I
into
turned
a
it
positive
with the
way.
trust. Honestly, I didn't think that I'm doing lemonade, to be honest with you. It was so bitter, it was salty, the lemon was so hard on me, and I never thought that I'm doing something good. I just thought that something good will happen. I don't see it now, but I trust God that it will happen.
But it's very
That's it.
courageous of you to also talk about this, because a lot of times people talk about their success. This is what they've done. They started, and they don't talk about this part of the business journey in which things go bad, and then they keep pushing themselves and they don't give up, and that's when the real magic happens.
If you face the first bump, even if it's huge and if it's big, and you just surrender, this is where you lose. But if you don't surrender, you will learn. If you don't surrender, you will become more mature. If you don't surrender, you will still achieve. Maybe you will not achieve what you had in your mind, but still you will achieve, and you will be able to go slowly back to the right track.
So I want to know from this disaster situation, which was in 2009, right? And you recovered, you got the money back, and you said, I'm going to do it all over again. I want to know, where is it now?
Back then, my vision was, I didn't want to grow my interior design company. I wanted to grow the businesses. So in my mind, I had always an entrepreneur kind of mind. So I said, okay, K-Kids is there. It's working by itself. If I open the other showroom, it will work by itself. Like my interior design company, okay, one project per year, it will be just for me, like to enjoy and have fun. This was my idea. I wanted the businesses to work, make money, and me relax. I didn't want to go run in the heat to the sites. In my mind, this is how it had to be. But when this incident happened, I realized that maybe this is not the direction. Maybe the direction is to go stronger in my projects. Not to open a furniture store here and a furniture store there and get a franchise from here and another franchise from there. Maybe like my destiny is to become what that little girl always used to say, or what her mother told her, you will be the best interior designer. So I thought my destiny is not to be the best entrepreneur or the best businesswoman. My destiny is to be one of the best interior designer. So I went back to track, and this is where I started growing Dipiugi, and I started taking more and more projects and signature projects and mentions, and to go in that direction. And this is, I think, how things went into the current direction. Because before, I was here, there, here, everywhere. I wanted to do everything. After that, I became more focused on one thing.
And it grew.
Also, the social media helped a lot, because I was happy to share my ideas on social media. I was happy to share my projects. I was happy to share details, how this is done, how we can do this, how we can do that. So I felt part of the knowledge I have, I should share it. I wasn't scared like other designers, because at the beginning of social media, many designers, they were not sharing anything of their project. They were scared that someone will copy them. And I heard it a lot. Sawsan, you're sharing this, you're sharing that. You're not scared that people will copy you? I said, so what? Let them copy. At the end of the day, they saw it here first. I shared it first. Even if they will copy, even if they will mention it's their work, people will know why, because I shared it first. So this is the thing. I was never scared to share knowledge. I was never scared to share tips. I believe this is how I became like that designer that everyone likes. And because I was me, I share how I am. I share everything I know. So I'm not someone who hides things. And this is reflected, I believe.
I think it's beautiful because even if people would copy your design, no two of your designs, they look the same. So they are absolutely, all your designs are absolutely unique in its own way. So nobody can copy that.
I'm humbled by this, but I really believe there is a space for every designer. There is a space for every person with ambition, and no one can take anyone's success or anyone's story. Each one has its own story. Maybe my story and my success story started when I was young. For other people in their destiny, it has to start when they are in their late 30s or maybe in their late 40s. So I really believe that. That's why I never compare myself to anyone. I believe each one will have its own success and its own beautiful story.
I want to do something very interesting here. So I
Okay.
have some pictures which I've taken from the internet, and I want to see your take on it. Like, how would